The issue I'm having is as soon as I start the vehicle and the engine is cold, it reads super hot and it says that it's overheating. When the engine's cold, I just started it, and I believe that temperature sensor right there is the issue. Again, you just got to pull that clip up, pull it out, put the new one in real fast so you don't leak a lot of coolant out. Just pulled the clip out. There it is. I used that little pick there. So I just installed the other coolant sensor and it already looks promising. As you guys can see the gauge up there, it's reading cold because the engine is cold. Now let's try to start it. Before it took me like 10 times cranking it so it will start. Started right up. Yo, that was the issue with this. Still reads cold because it is. Before it would go all the way up to hot. And of course right there where it says change oil soon, it said engine overheat. It said that it was overheating. So hopefully that fixed the issue with that. I lost a lot of coolant because getting it back in there, my hands are kind of bigger and I couldn't really fit the little clip on, and the sensor kept popping out and then the coolant was just leaking everywhere. But there it is now. Looks like we don't have any leaks. It's good. So yeah, if you guys are having that issue where the gauge is going all the way up to high, at first when it started having issues, it went down and it said it was cold when the engine was warm. And then after that, it struggled to start. Like I said, I had to sit there and crank it and crank it and crank it for like 5 minutes to get it to start. And the temperature gauge was always on hot. And it said on the display that it was overheating. And now I replaced the little sensor there. It's got both brand new sensors, this one and the one down there on the radiator side. And boom, she started right up. Sounds pretty good right now. It's awesome. That's more like it. Yup, it's working good now. Slowly climbing up. It's been out here about 15 minutes warming up. Sounds a little more responsive. Maybe it's just me. But it definitely started right up. These are the codes that are on here. I'm gonna go ahead and delete everything. I'm sure that sensor might have triggered other codes. Let's go ahead and delete it. All right. Let's pull our scan tool out. Shut it up again. Check engine light went away before I erased the code and it was still on there. As soon as I turned it on, the temperature sensor was all the way on hot. Display said overheating. Check engine light was on immediately. This was on a cold engine. So now it seems to be working fine. So if you guys are having that issue, I recommend you might as well just change both sensors out. The one in the radiator and the one on the actual engine. I hear water in here when I rev it up. There's still a little air in the system. There's a lot of the coolant that dripped out. Pretty much squirted out of there, actually. When I took the sensor out, it was just flowing non-stop, coolant coming out. Nobody ever really talks about that sensor down there. At least I haven't seen any videos on it. Everyone talks about the one over here by the radiator that goes into the radiator. That one down there. But yeah, keep an eye on that top sensor over there. If you're having issues with your Encore or any other Ecotec not turning on and your gauge is fluctuating between hot and cold when it shouldn't be, then you might have an issue with that sensor. One of them at least.